Welcome to the Nevada wing of the power plant. There are 8 that you see here on the Nevada side. We have 9 more on the Arizona side for a total of 17 commercial generators. Each generator stands 70 feet tall, but you can only see the top 30 feet of them. Just one generator can produce up to 130 megawatts of electricity. That's enough to power about 65,000 homes. Look at the first generator, N1. Halfway down, you see a light shining on a 65-foot steel shaft. At the bottom of that shaft is the turbine. The water comes down through those penstock pipes, hits the turbine at 48 miles an hour, spinning the shaft, which is connected to the rotor housed inside the red drum. And if you look right below us, that is the rotor that came out of N3. That's why it looks like there's a generator missing. The rotor is made up of 40 electromagnets. Each magnet weighs 4 tons. So when you look at the rotor below, you can see all those magnets going around the perimeter. Now, sitting around the rotor inside the red drum is what is called the stator, and that's 5 miles of stationary copper coil. The rotor spins at 180 revolutions per minute. So as those magnets spin around the copper coil, that reaction is how they produce electricity here at Hoover Dam. If the lights on top of the generators are on, they are in operation. Next, if you look down at the power plant floor closer to us, you will see a small rust-colored pelted water wheel enclosed within a fence. This was the first generator put into operation September 11th, 1936. This is very important because it's where we get all our in-house power here at the dam, such as for lights, elevators, and machinery. We do have one just like this on the Arizona side, so one of these generators is always running. These smaller generators produce 2.4 megawatts of electricity. Now, if you look above the generators towards the ceiling, you will see 2 P&H bridge cranes going across the room. First one has our American flag hanging from it, and its sister is sitting farther down the bay. These cranes are original, run on tracks, and can remove the entire length of the power plant. It's what they use to install the generators, and they're used for maintenance. One crane can lift 300 tons. To put this into perspective, the Statue of Liberty in New York weighs 225 tons. One crane can pick her up, no problem. But sometimes that's not enough for what we need here at the dam. They must be used together to form a super crane, which can lift 600 tons. Because when they do lift up this rotor to replace it back into the generator, it is going to weigh over 580 tons. Now, if you look down at the floor around your feet, you will be looking at the terrazzo marble that was put in place in 1937 by the Martina family with visitors in mind. The marble flooring covers 121,000 square feet of the power plant floor. Also on the floor you see symbols. They were created by American artist Alan Tucker Drew, who wanted to bring Southwest Native American designs into the project. The one I'm standing next to shows an electrical outlet which represents power, and the circular one behind the rest of you shows the movement of water flowing through a turbine, so we have power and water. And now, if you look to my right, you will be looking in the direction of Lake Mead. Between Lake Mead and us, right behind this wall, is the Hoover Dam. It stands 726 feet high, 45 feet wide at its crest, and is 660 feet thick at its base. So to help you visualize this, if you look from this wall all the way back down the room, that is 650 feet long. So you still need to add 10 more feet to have the equivalent of the thickness at the very base of the dam.
But they actually didn't get any of that seepage in here, so these were not good at catching water. But what they were good at catching was women's heels. So they want to keep it as original as possible, so that's why they look the way they do. They just filled them in. All right. Okay. Another reason to stop here. Around the letter, it's shorter than 5'11".
guys. Of course.
Actually built in blocks. They're 5 feet tall, 12 feet in depth by 60 feet wide. In between those blocks, they were interlocking as they poured them, so as they cooled, they did pull apart just a little bit. We call those expansion joints. In those spots, they actually put a grouting. Where you crossed over that vent, or that vent that was on the floor, goes down 75 feet. The original use of that was to go down and put that grouting in between those blocks. Now it's just a vertical inspection tunnel. It goes down 75 feet. Yes, I do wait until everyone's back across it to say that. Don't worry. Some 1936 technology on how you guys would level up that. What ends up happening is, to make sure that the dam was level, there was another one over there that also had a bar. So the bolts were, that was the spot that actually would move back and forth. So they put those bolts there to actually have calipers that would come and measure that spacing.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course. So that's also the other color of terrazzo, the top. Remember I said color coded? So yeah, the restrooms over there, same idea.
you.